Hello, my dear students. Good morning, all. Dear students, hope you all good. Okay, you have to listen class properly and you have to maintain notes properly. These two things you have to do. And one more important thing is you have to you have to prepare everything on the particular same day. So suppose today I'm going to explain Rutherford atomic model and then some what we call electromagnetic radiation. There, wave parameters like wavelength, wave number, frequency, those when we discussed. At that time, you should know everything, and you should finish on that same day. So, what we discussed in our previous class. Okay. So, what we discussed in our previous class about Rutherford atomic model and J.J. Thomson atomic model. So in that what we call Rutherford atomic model, Rutherford atomic model. So what we discussed in a Rutherford atomic model, he considered two gold foils like this. Two gold foils he considered. Through the gold foils, he sent alpha rays. He sent what? Alpha rays. Correct? Understanding? So alpha rays are what? Alpha rays are dye-positive helium ion. If anybody asks you, alpha rays nature is what means positive rays. Alpha rays are positive rays. Alpha rays are nothing but dye-positive helium ions. That means He+2 ions. Okay, those alpha rays passed through gold foils. Gold foils means gold plates. Plates means not the thick plates. They are very much thin plates, 10 mm size. Okay, 10 mm size. So very small plates he was considered. And through the gold foils, he sent many alpha rays, around 10,000 or more than 10,000 he sent. And he observed, what he observed, maximum of the rays are, these are the rays. The maximum of the rays are passing through the gold foils, but the rays which touches the center, they are coming back. What is the meaning? The rays are positive, nucleus consists of positive, then only positive will repel, and the positive rays will come back. Who will come back? The positive rays are coming back. What I'm saying, understanding? So when that can happen, this alpha rays is this alpha ray, this pen is alpha ray, and my hand, this particular center have a positive charge, then only the ray, what way that hits the center, that will come back in a same path with 180 degrees angle. What I'm saying? That means nucleus of atom we call, or center of the atom is called a nucleus. That nucleus consists of some positive particles. Those positive particles are called protons. I told you. Got it, everyone? Good. Till 72 members. So still few more are there. So please come fast. So here we have, as I said, maximum of the rays are passing through the gold files. Means in this area, the ray is passing from here to here like this. So passing through the gold files. Maximum of the rays are passing through gold files. If you have any problem, you can message me also in WhatsApp. Okay. So but don't disturb me because I won't look at that every time, because maximum we have to resolve all the problems in our class. So maximum we have to understand. 99.99% we have to understand. That's what I'm saying. So join fast and try to understand everything what I'm saying. So maximum of the rays are passing through the gold foils means what is the meaning? Except this nucleus. Except this nucleus. Remaining space of atom consists of some negative particles. Why positive is passing through the gold foil means this is a atom. He considered so that atom as a spherical. That's why he considered gold foils like this. So this is the nucleus here. So here you have a nucleus. So this consists of what particles? Here you have some positive particles. Here you have some positive particles. What are the positive particles are called? Protons. Protons. And around this nucleus, who is revolving? Electrons are revolving. So around this particular nucleus, who are there? Electrons are revolving, and those electrons are revolving like this. So here you what you have around the nucleus. Here you have electrons. Electrons you have. So around the nucleus, electrons are revolving. So how you can say, sir, means I was not given experimentally, Rutherford given, yes, except nucleus through the remaining space of atom, those alpha rays are passing. That means except nucleus, the remaining space of atom consists of some negative particles. So he said except nucleus, the remaining space of atom is empty. Except nucleus. So this point is very important. In previous few points I said, except nucleus, remaining space of atom is empty. Remaining space of atom is empty. So why you are saying, sir, empty? Why you are using that word empty? Because electrons are very light. If you consider the mass, electron mass is 1837 times lesser than proton mass. Understanding? So electron mass is very less. This proton mass is how many times heavier than electron? 1837 times, means 1837 times more. Whose mass is more? Proton mass. So I will write that point also. Why empty? Because electron is very light, because proton mass is 1837 times to the 1837 times to the mass of what? Mass of what? Mass of electron. Understood, sir, everyone? So this is the important thing. Except nucleus, remaining space of atom is empty, because and what is the reason? Because proton mass is 1837 times to the mass of electron. That means electron is the lightest particle. Who is the lightest particle? Electron. Who is the heaviest particle among these three? Neutron is the heaviest. Please try to understand all this. Okay. So yeah. So because proton mass is heavy, so remaining space of atom considered as empty. So next point we have to discuss. Next, see, he considered atom, or he compared atom with the solar system. Who compared? Mr. This fellow, who is that Rutherford, compared atom with the solar system. What is the solar system? Around sun, electrons are revolving. Around sun, around sun, planets are revolving in a circular path or a spherical path. Correct or not? So around sun, how planets are revolving, like that. In atom, around nucleus, electrons are revolving. So what is the final statement he was given? Around the nucleus, electrons are revolving in a circular paths as planets revolving around the sun. So this is the most important. So electrons, those circular paths he named as orbits. What they're called? Orbits or shells. That point I'll tell you. That's why this is also called Rutherford planetary model. This is also called Rutherford planetary model. Sir, don't worry. This is third class only. So we are in introduction only. You only will say after completion, sir. Many numericals are there in this chapter. Now only we have theories. Once we enter into that particular hydrogen spectrum and all, completely will have a numerical questions and conceptual questions. Interesting chapter. But initially you will have like this only. Please try to understand. Okay. So, excuse me. As I said, now what I said, electrons are revolving around the revolving around sorry around sun around a nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus of atom. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus of atom in circular paths. In what paths? In circular paths. In circular paths. Those circular paths are called orbits, which are called orbits or what we call shells. Very, very important. So how electrons are revolving around the nucleus means you have to conclude like this. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular paths, which are called orbits or shells. Which are called what? Orbits or shells we have. Got it, everyone? Please listen carefully. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus of atom in circular paths, which are called orbits or shells. Got it? So here you have one clarity. And what he said, one more important point, the most important point. According to Mr. Rutherford, mass of atom is completely, or volume of atom completely concentrate at the center of atom. Center of atom is nucleus. So I repeat the same point. Mass of atom is due to mass of protons only, he said. What is that? Mass of atom is completely depends on mass of nucleus, because electrons are very light. You can check there. Proton mass is 1837 times heavier than electron. So electron mass is 1 by 1837 times. Proton mass is 1837 times. That is the difference. Got it? So what he said, mass of atom completely concentrate at nucleus. At where? Nucleus. Mass of atom completely concentrate at nucleus means what is the meaning? That is mass of atom depends on mass of nucleus. Mass of nucleus means what is the meaning? In nucleus, who is present? Protons present. But actually this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Mass of atom completely concentrate at the center of a nucleus, he said. Who said? Mr. Rutherford said. But later Chadwick said, my dear brother Rutherford, you are wrong. Why you are wrong means mass of atom is not only due to presence of protons, mass of atom is due to presence of both protons and neutrons. So this is very, very important. So the most important thing, finally Chadwick concluded mass of, therefore Chadwick concluded mass of atom is equal to mass of atom is equals to mass of proton mass, means like this you can write proton mass plus neutron neutrons mass, neutrons mass. This is the final conclusion. Got it, everyone? So mass of atom is due to presence of both the protons and neutrons. Got it, sir? So mass of atom depends on what? Nucleus mass. So mass of atom is just, you have to write like this. It is equal to mass of proton plus neutron mass. This is the most important. Okay, so these are some important things. So mass of atom completely concentrating at where? Center of atom. Center of atom is called nucleus. Mass of atom is equals to proton mass plus neutron mass. Okay, that is called, we call it as mass number. Also later on we will discuss many things like isotopes, isobars, those also, don't worry. Next, what we have here, these are the main important things what he given. So Rutherford atomic model is like a one way we had like a simple way to identify, yes, electrons are revolving around the nucleus as planets revolving around the sun. That is a good thing actually, and this is also correct. Mass of atom is equals to proton mass plus neutron mass, but Rutherford said mass of atom is equal to proton mass, but that is wrong. Later Chadwick was given this. Who given? Chadwick was given mass of atom is equals to proton mass plus neutrons mass. This is the most important. Got it, everyone? So next, what are the drawbacks? So what are the drawbacks we have to discuss? Drawbacks means failures in this Rutherford atomic model. What are the failures means? He failed in few things, like if electrons are revolving around nucleus continuously, then that have to lose energy continuously, that have to fall into the nucleus. Then atom is revolving around the nucleus in a spiral manner. It should spiral manner or not? Spiral manner means like this. Electron should suppose started from here, so that will start and lose energy continuously, and that have to fall into nucleus like this. This must happen. This is a spiral manner. Okay, spiral manner. Who is revolving? Electron. Electron revolving in spiral manner. According to that, I see here any mechanical body. Suppose if I am talking continuously like this, if I am not eating anything, then what will happen after complete consumption of my internal energy? I will fall down. Correct or not? Suppose I am running continuously and I'm not at all taking any food, I'm not at all taking any liquids or whatever. So what will happen? My internal energy, what I have, that my total strength, what I have will definitely consume, and I will fall down after some distance. Correct? Like that, electron, suppose electron started here. So electron started here and coming like this, coming like this, and coming like this, and coming like this, and fall into the nucleus like this. So finally electron will be here. Got it what I'm saying? So electron, if revolving continuously, then what about its energy? This is the main important thing. So he failed to explain energy of electron, energy of atom, stability of atom. He was unable to explain. Two things he was unable to explain. So as I said, he, according to Rutherford, if electron revolving continuously around the nucleus, then electron have to lose energy. According to that that particular any mechanical body have to lose energy continuously, that have to fall down actually. But here not happening. Atom is stable. So that is the drawback here. What I said understood? So electron revolving around the nucleus and continuously, that have to lose energy continuously, that have to fall into the nucleus, and atom should collapse. But atom is highly stable. This is the most important. So what he was unable to explain, he was unable to explain. He was unable to explain energy and stability. Stability of what? Stability of atom. He was unable to explain. This is the most important. So these drawbacks we have to overcome, and he was unable to identify one more important thing. Those electron when revolving that is jumping from one orbit to another orbit, that he was unable to observe. Later Bohr was observed, that Niels Bohr's atomic model we have. And these when electron when jumping from higher orbit to lower orbit or lower orbit to higher orbit, they are forming some spectral lines. Okay, spectral lines are what I'll tell you. Okay, so different kind of radiations arrangement in an increasing order of wavelength we called as spectral lines. Those spectral lines formation he was unable to explain. So simply I will write here, he was unable to explain. He was unable to explain line spectrum. What spectrum? Line spectrum. Who was unable to explain? Mr. Okay, so main drawbacks here I was given. He was unable to explain energy and stability of atom, and he was unable to explain line spectrum of atom. How line spectrum is forming? When electron jumping from higher orbit to lower orbit. So those orbits, who are higher orbits and who are lower orbits, we will discuss in Bohr's atomic model. Don't worry. So these are the main drawbacks in Rutherford atomic model. Okay. So next we will discuss about what is electromagnetic spectrum. See, first of all, when electron revolving around the nucleus is creating a wave actually. So electron has a wave nature. Of course, it has a dual nature. Later on, we will discuss. So first, in this, we will discuss about only particular wave nature of electron. So electron, when revolving around the nucleus, it is creating a wave. So it has a crust and trough lines. So these wave have a parameters. So we have to discuss about wave parameters later. So here in electromagnetic spectrum. So first of all, what is a spectrum? Also we have to discuss. What is a spectrum? So as I said, the arrangement of different types of radiations in the increasing order of wavelength or decreasing order of frequency is called spectrum. So that we have to discuss first. So as I said here, mainly two things I said. One is electron has a wave nature. Of course, electron has a dual nature. Afterwards, don't ask me that electron has a particle nature also. Yes, it has a particle nature also. But in this electromagnetic spectrum, I would like to explain two important things. One is the wave nature, and one is what is the spectrum and what are the wave parameters. These things I have to explain. Afterwards, I'll explain those about atomic number means what, mass number means what are isotopes, isobars. Those we will discuss in our next class actually. So now, as I said, what is a spectrum? I will write here. Spectrum. So as I said, the spectrum means the arrangement of different radiation, arrangement of a different radiation in increasing order of what I said, wavelength. What is wavelength? I'll tell you. Don't worry. Increasing order of wavelength and decreasing order of frequency. Okay, is called spectrum, actually, electromagnetic spectrum. So the arrangement of different radiation in increasing order of wavelength and decreasing or else decreasing order of frequency is called spectrum. Different types of radiations what we have, I'll tell you here. Okay, so highest frequency radiation is cosmic rays. So I am writing from highest frequency. I told no, spectrum means increasing order of wavelength or decreasing order of frequency. So highest frequency particular radiation is a cosmic rays. Next, gamma rays, X-rays, okay, next UV, visible. Okay. Visible radiation is actually from wavelength, I'll give you. So 480 nanometer to 720 actually. So nanometer visible, UV visible, infrared, IR. Okay. So these are the different radiations I am writing. So first is what? Cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, UV, visible. Okay. Afterwards, infrared. After micro, EV, and ray. These are two types of radio actually, AM, FM, and so these are the kind of radiations. And here we have one more classification actually, visible radiation. As I said, starts from 480 to 720. So here, so you know everyone, so rainbow colors, violet, indigo, blue, G, Y. So, okay, here you have a plus, different 7 plus, no? So here. Okay, so these are the different types of radiations what we have from cosmic rays to radio wave. So here I written what first cosmic rays, no, is the highest frequency radiation, and the lowest is this. Who is the lowest? Radio. Okay. So now these all waves, as I said, wave parameters. So about those we have to discuss now. Wave parameters. As I said, when electrons are creating wave, when electron creating a wave like this, so creating wave like this, you can observe on the space, like this you have. Certainly this wave has some frequency, wave has some wavelength, the wave has some amplitude. So about those we have to discuss now. Okay, so when electron creating wave, certainly it forms a crust and troughs. So this height of a crust or depth of a trough is called amplitude or wave function. Okay, we use sign. Okay, what is this? What is this? Amplitude. Amplitude we represent with A, or else wave number we use a sign. Sign. That is a symbol I written. Okay, please check this. Amplitude. And you can write what is amplitude now. Amplitude. So you can write here amplitude means the height, the particular height of a crust or depth of a trough is called amplitude. So what are the units? For a small length or small heights, we use nanometers, picometers, angstrom. These we use. What is that, everyone? So micrometers, micrometers. These are the units. Micrometers. Okay. So wave has some parameters. In the first, we discussed about amplitude. Amplitude is the height of a crust. See, this is the crust. Sir. Height is this height of a crust, or this is the depth of a trough patch. Got it, sir, everyone? So if you want, I will highlight this. So here, this is height. Okay, this is called crest also, and this is trough. Got it, everyone? So here, this trough depth also we called as what we call amplitude. So from here to here, we call this as amplitude. So what is amplitude? We have that is a symbol of a wave. Sorry, wave function. I said wave number in previous. Sorry, that wave function, that is psi. Okay, psi is also called amplitude. Okay, now Schrodinger wave equation. There also we will discuss, and what is the wave function and what are the wave function measurements. Everything we will discuss over there. So amplitude, what amplitude and units I said. Next is wavelength. Wave Wavelength means the distance between two successive crusts or troughs is called what? Wavelength. We represent with a lambda like this. Wavelength. So distance from here to here. You can see here. Lambda this is called. These are the two adjacent crusts, right? These are the adjacent troughs from here to here otherwise. Okay, so this is called lambda. What is called that? Lambda. Lambda means wavelength. What is wavelength? The distance between, you can write the distance between two adjacent or successive crests or troughs. The distance between two adjacent crests or troughs. I written here. Please check that. So wavelength means what we have here. Okay, the distance between two successive crusts or troughs is called wavelength. So wavelength is the distance between two crusts or troughs. So here also same units. So nanometer, picometer, angstrom, or else micrometer. So in centimeters or meters if you want. One angstrom is 10 power minus 8 centimeter or 10 power minus 10 meter. Same, 1 nanometer is equal to how many centimeters or meters? You people know this already because we discussed in bridge course also. So 1 nanometer means here 10 power minus 7 centimeter, or else 10 power minus 9 meters. Okay. Similarly, you can write 1 picometer. 1 picometer is 10 power minus 10 centimeter, or else 10 power minus 12, 10 power minus 12 meters. Okay. So centimeters, meters, that relation, you know, no? 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So, but here inverse, no? 10 power minus 10 and 10 power minus 12 centimeter to meter. So inversely. So 1 picometer is 10 power minus 10 centimeter, or else 10 power minus 12 meters. These are the units and unit conversions. Very, very important. Okay, because here, no problem actually. What is that about wavelength? In frequency like that, we have to convert units sometimes. Because in frequency, we use speed of light. Speed of light in centimeter and meter. If the wavelength or wave number, if they're given in nanometer or picometer or angstrom, we have to convert them into centimeter and meters. That's why we have to understand these unit conversions, everyone. Correct? So next is a wave number. So what is a wave number? Wave number. Wave number we represent with a nu bar. Wave number represent with what, sir? Nu bar. Nu bar. What is the wave number? Wave number means the number of waves present in unit length. Suppose this is the unit length. So actually waves are creating in this particular area. So these are the waves. So how many number of waves present in a unit length is called wave number. For the wave number, I repeat, the total number of waves present in unit length is called particular wave number. Wave number, we can also say that wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength. Wave number is reciprocal to wavelength. Got it? So if wavelength is x, then the wave number is 1 by x. That's it. Okay. So wave number, you can say it is reciprocal to what? Wavelength. So wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength. Got it, everyone? So these are all important things. Please listen carefully. So what you can write therefore, nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. So reciprocal means this only, not inverse. Inverse means like this waves, and constant will come for inverse. Okay. So don't say inversely proportional. It's reciprocal. So nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. Wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength. So nu bar is equals to 1 by lambda. So what are the units of wave number? Therefore, you can write just reverse, no. So 1 by centimeter or 1 by meter or 1 by angstrom, 1 by nanometer or 1 by picometer you will get, right? So units of this wave number nu bar. Units of wave number. Simply I can write centimeter inverse, meter inverse. So these are very important, very much important. We have hydrogen spectrum and radius of atom, energy of atom. Those also we use all these things. So please remember centimeter inverse, meter inverse. You can say like angstrom inverse. Okay, nanometer inverse. So all inverse units for what we have in wavelength. So this is about wave number. What is the wave number? The number of or total number of waves present in unit length. So which unit length we consider, sir? Around nucleus electrons are revolving, no, in circular paths. So while revolving electron, that's creating wave in that particular orbit. So there we have to consider unit area, unit length. Okay. So the number of waves present in unit length is called wave number. Wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength. So next we have to discuss about frequency. Frequency we represent with a nu. Wave number is a new bar. Now frequency, we use nu. Nu means frequency. What is the frequency? Sometimes in our daily life we use frequency. Okay. See, if you are standing in a bus stop, we ask, suppose you don't know local language, then what you will ask in English? What is the frequency of a bus to go Bangalore, like that you will ask, right? Frequency means at what frequency the buses will come. Means for every 5 minutes, for every 10 minutes, or for 1 hour. In what way you will get bus? We will ask, right? Frequency means that only. The frequency. Frequency means what? It's like a speed. Okay. So frequency means this is like a bus stop. Is a point is a bus stop for you. So how many buses is reaching at this particular bus stop? So in our chemistry language, what we call the number of waves passes through a particular point in 1 second. That means unit time is called frequency. I repeat, what is the frequency? Frequency means the number of waves passes through a particular point in 1 second. Correct? That is called frequency. So frequency is more, then definitely speed of a wave is more. Correct, everyone? So what is the wave number? Number of waves present in unit length. But what is the frequency? The total number of waves passing through a particular point in 1 second. That means unit time is called frequency. So as I said, frequency represented with nu, it is inversely proportional to wavelength. So if a wavelength is more, that means what? From this crust to another crust, we have a long distance. Means wave moving very slowly. That means wave number is inversely proportional to wavelength. I said in previous, wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength, because number of waves we are indicating the wave number, right? So if number of waves are very less, means what is the meaning? The wave number is less. That means wavelength is more. Means distance is more. Distance is more. It takes more time to cover. Okay, and more time to reach that particular point. So what we can say, nu frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. See, reciprocal we take an equal here, and inversely proportional means this symbol we take, we consider. So nu is inversely proportional to lambda. Inversely means, again, don't say inversely proportional to 1 by lambda. Inversely means 1 by already. Again, don't say inversely proportional to 1 by lambda. Understanding? So what we have here finally, so to remove that proportionality, what we have used? Some constant. Nu is equal to now C by lambda. So frequency nu is equal to what? C by lambda. So frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. So finally, we have one formula here. Frequency nu is equal to C by lambda. What is C? C is velocity of light or speed of light. Velocity of. So its value everybody knows, I think so. It's 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. And it is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay. So what is frequency? Frequency means nu. It is inversely proportional to lambda, and u is equals to C by lambda. U is equals to C by lambda. What is C? C is speed of light. Got it, sir, everyone? So about the frequency we discussed. Okay. So what are the units of frequency? We will discuss. Units. What units? So nu is equals to centimeter per second. I said nu is, what is this? Suppose C, centimeter per second, second inverse I can write, right? And by centimeter cancel, because nu C by lambda. C units, speed units, you know, not distance covered by time. So distance unit centimeter or meters. So centimeter by second. So centimeter second inverse I written. So in denominator wavelength units everybody knows that centimeter. So see one thing, sir. If you consider meters in numerator, in denominator wavelength you have to consider in meters only. Okay, don't consider different units here. Got it, everyone? So nu is equals to centimeter second inverse by centimeter. So what is nu? Therefore, simply nu units, frequency units. You can say now. Frequency units. Second inverse or else hertz. What is that? H. We represent use units like this. So remember, so what we discussed today, Rutherford experiment, we discussed Rutherford planetary model, we discussed, and drawbacks in Rutherford planetary model we discussed, and afterwards electromagnetic radiation we discussed. Okay, so next behavior of that electromagnetic radiation also we will discuss in our next class, and it is not completed, and spectrum also not completed. Just the spectrum definition I was given here, but after this frequency and the time period and all, we will discuss about that line spectrum and band spectrum, different types of spectral lines we will discuss. Afterwards, we will discuss about isotopes, isobars, isotones and all. Then we will enter into the most important topic, hydrogen spectrum. So about a spectrum only we will have classes for a few days, like 2-3 days. But it's a thank you very much. Next, in our next class, we will discuss about remaining things like isotopes, isobars, isotones and all. Thank you very much.